Hello everyone, my name is Alexander. This is my video essay on Red Dead Redemption 2 and its architectural and historical accuracy to that of our own. Without further ado, let's begin in the video. So before I begin the deep dive, I would like to give a brief explanation as to what the game is about. For those that haven't been informed, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game about a Wild West outlaw named Arthur Morgan. He is loyal to his gang because it's his family and it's all that he knows. He's a cold-hearted killer and has been fleeing from state to state with his family after killing and robbing from pretty much everyone they happen to encounter. The leader of the gang, Dutch Vanderland, is the charismatic manipulator, which eventually ends up being the main cause to the crumbling of his loyal gang. The game takes place during the end of the Wild West in the 18th century during the late 1800s. This is a crucial point because this time setting is around the time the Industrial Revolution began implementing its advancements towards civilization, marking the beginning of an industrial future and the end of the Wild West. The three important subjects of discussion that are going to take place in this video are number 1, Braithwaite Manor, number 2, Saint Denis or Saint Denis, as pronounced in the game, and number 3, the Industrial Era. Let's start with number 1. Alrighty guys, so we're starting off with Braithwaite Manor. And before I get there, it's important to let you guys know that due to in-game story progression, I may not be able to get as close as I want to the manor, but I will try my best to provide the best footage possible, so I'll go ahead and catch up with you guys as soon as I get to the spot. I'll see you there. Okay, coming up on our destination here, we see this warning sign. And aside from that sign, the first thing we see here is the very long road that leads down to the manor, with the well-known massive oak trees that are part of the real building that is known as the Oakville Manor in Louisiana.
Yep.
Alright, due to the fog going on in the game right now, we can't really see the manor just yet, so I'll try and get up close without getting shot at by the guards. Here, coming up on the manor, we can see, let me bring up this image real quick, and boom, you see, it's just as similar as to the complete identical counterpart, also known as Oakville Manor. You see the fog clearing up right here, and yeah, here it is. This is it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and break this down for you guys. So, for those who don't know what the Braithwaite Manor is and what the Oak Valley Manor was, the Braithwaite Manor is the mansion and former slave plantation of the Braithwaite family, a wealthy Lemoynian dynasty. Just in case you guys don't know this as well, the state of Louisiana in this game is known as Lemoyne, but the manor is presumably as old as the Braithwaites themselves, dating back to approximately 1779. And this is the video game timeline, not to get you confused with actual historical timeline. But following the conclusion of the American Civil War and the South's defeat, slavery was abolished, dealing a significant financial blow to the plantation. And although the property's crops are still tended to by the farmers, the Braithwaite family has transitioned to the more financially lucrative and illegal dealing of moonshine. Okay, so using my binoculars, I can get a front side shot of the, there you go, of the manor. Like I said before, I can't get up close because then the guards are gonna get mad at me. But yeah, here's a front side shot of the manor real quick. I'm gonna cut it to one of the side entrances. Stand by, and now here we have the left side, the far left side of the manor. And using my binoculars real quick, I can get an up close and personal look. And then boom, here we have the left side. I was just over there at the front. And in the back, we can clearly see a couple of houses that I guess initially were supposed to be represented as, you know, like the slave houses, but you know, since it's a game and they won't exactly do something like that, in that sense, it isn't exactly as accurate. I'm gonna get to the other side of the, 1 second so I can go ahead and show you the other side. Stand by. Alright, so I managed to get a little behind the houses, well, the Braithwaite Manor, and as we can see here, there's a couple of farmers, and, you know, a couple of guards and whatnot. But, you know, essentially for the sake of the game, these houses are supposed to represent, you know, where the guards and where the farmers stay, but, you know, ideally and, you know, historically um these would be slave houses. But yeah, there's a big farm building over there, a small little shack over there, and there's also right here another house, another shack right here, and there's large fields of cotton everywhere. Now let's begin discussing the real building in Louisiana. The real life counterpart, Oak Valley Manor, was built between 1837 and 1839. This is our US timeline, not to get it confused with the main game. But this manor was commissioned by sugar planter Jacques Telesphore Roman, and this estate originally produced sugarcane using enslaved labor. And after the Civil War and the end of slavery, Oak Alley changed hands many times and fell into disrepair. In 1925, it ended up being restored, and then in 1972, the property was left to the Oak Alley Foundation, which now operates as a museum and historic site open to the public in Louisiana. Now that I've finished talking about the Braithwaite Manor, Oak Valley Manor, we will now continue to talk about my favorite city, Saint Denis. Now, if you haven't noticed already, this place is the most populated and well-established section in the game, compared to any other place you would see in the game, and it's a fictional city based on the actual city of New Orleans. As I'm taking a stroll through Saint Denis, you might be wondering, Alex, what makes this so identical to the city of New Orleans? And to that I answer with this accurate image captured on one of the streets by a New York Times photographer in the city of New Orleans. Okay, so if by any chance you're having some sort of doubt, perhaps this might be of some convincing. Right here. Boom. This building. For those of you that aren't familiar with this building, in real life, this is known as the New Orleans Opera House, which opened in 1853 and was unfortunately burnt down in 1903. Walking inside this place feels like a blast from the past. Every time I get to play this game on my own, I always wonder and ask myself, how can they manage to make a game this aesthetically pleasing? But hey, we'll probably never know, honestly. Walking down these halls and paying attention to all the decorations, the chandeliers, the portraits, the pillars, the engravings on the pillars and the stone. You can really lose yourself and get distracted, like just paying attention to all the tiny details that and like just how they took their time with all of this. It's insane. Like look at this. Oh, there's even angels. There's even like a mural on the ceiling. And then if we walk down here real quick, there's a grand clock. You know, there's a portrait right there. You know, we got some very nice, elegant Art Nouveau uh, art style right here on the carpets and on the walls and whatnot. And we have a bar. And when we step over here, here we have the auditorium, which is currently having a show right now. But yeah, there's that, you know. And then check out the ceiling and the just everything on the walls, like everything like delicately done. You know, it's pretty amazing. Let me get out of here. The music is pretty loud. I don't want to get copyrighted. As I'm walking through these halls and exploring this place, I feel like this game is really undervalued and underestimated for its choice in design. Come to think of it, I think this is the only good game out right now with such accurate design to that of something in the 1800s. When we go over here, we can get a balcony view of the show, but never mind the show. Take a look at the damn it. Take a look at the ceiling. Look at that. That's amazing. Like look at the chandelier. Look, hold on, hold on. Have first person. There you go. Look at the chandeliers. Look at the murals with the paintings and everything. How did they do this? Then we have this going on right here. We have this. Is that an anaconda? Yeah, that's a snake. That's an actual snake. But but yeah. Overall, you more or less get the idea that everything in this place, looks like it's so on point. At least that's what I think it is. I think it looks accurate. I really do. Everything from the walls to the floors, to the wood in the floors, to the stones, you know, to the little tiles, on the floors, you know, to the carpets and everything looks accurate. All right, now that I'm out of there and I remove myself from my distractions inside of the opera house, it's time we move on to my third and last topic. On our way to the next spot, you can clearly see just how beautiful and mesmerizing the scenery is. It's like one of those nature shows that I used to watch on TV. You know, it's also so peaceful. This is the land of the free, ladies and gents. But do you know what's the United States' second favorite thing aside from land? As a matter of fact, it may be the first. It may be the first. It really may be the first. And you know what the answer to that is? The answer to that is good old American oil. Right here. And you know, it's funny really. Interestingly enough, doing research for this video, I learned of an important historical figure that goes by the name of Andrew Carnegie. This guy right here is pretty much like the Jeff Bezos of the Industrial Revolution. He had assets in factories, oil, banks, trains, steel railroads, anything you can think of, this man, Andrew Carnegie, had already invested into it. Which actually reminds me of a familiar fellow that is a part of the story to this game. He is a man who we've continuously sabotaged by robbing from his train, from his bank, and actually blowing up this very factory we see right in front of us. Allow me to play the clip.
Well, I guess the Dutch Vanderlyn Finishing School has some strange graduates.
That it does. To your good health.
Thank you.
Vanderland! Get out here! Get out of here now! Vanderland! You don't know me, but you keep robbing me! My name is Leviticus Cornwall. I am not a man to be messed with by the likes of you! Get out here before I have these men killed! What do you think?
The man showed in the video that goes by the name of Leviticus Cornwall is the perfectly portrayed spitting image of Andrew Carnegie. Now, transitioning into our conclusion, what do we have that's historically accurate to that of our own historical timeline? We have, number one, the Braithwaite Manor, also known as the Oak Alley Manor. Number two, Saint Denis Theater House, also known as the New Orleans Opera House. And number three, Leviticus Cornwall, which is also Andrew Carnegie of the industrial area. This fourth one is an honorable mention, which is the Saint Denis industrial factories that spew out black fog into the atmosphere. Real quick, here we have a factory owned by Leviticus Cornwall, you know, polluting the environment, as per usual, you know. and whatnot. And here we have another warehouse. Cornwall Freight and Rail Yard. It's a rail yard actually, not a warehouse. Here we have a whole bunch of more buildings. You know, here we have let's see what we have here. We have a port. We have a goods warehouse over there on the far right. We have a fuel and supply company. We have a welcome sign. And here we have a cotton factory, washing house, and we have a lot of stuff here. Look, an electric company. This is where the electricity for Saint Denis is being like processed, you know, through a power plant and whatnot. Here, there it is, right there, right next to it on the left. We have Lanic Power, apparatus and lighting. Excuse me. Coming through over here, we have this building, and it seems to be. Is there any sign? Oh, there's a sign right here. Yeah, the machine works. These are the machine works right here. And
Hello.
howdy. And yeah, that seems to be it for this section, for the honorable mention. Red Dead Redemption 2 is an undervalued treasure, with its historical references to iconic places like New Orleans and fascinating architecture and characters that you might have never noticed before. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did making it. Stay safe and stay blessed. Thanks for watching, guys.